Welcome to another edition of the Sabre Spotlight on the Marian Sports Network. I am Wade Bates, and right now we are excited to bring in brand new head men's basketball coach at Marian University, Drake Diener. Coach Diener, you've been on the job about 6 weeks now. Just how's it been here on campus?
Oh, it's been great. It's been great. I felt really welcome, basically immediately. I think, this is a place. Obviously, I'm from Fond du Lac, so it's easier for me to feel comfortable probably. But I think Marian in general is a place that it's a tight knit community, and I think it's real easy to feel comfortable here. So I've felt really welcome. I've been welcomed by all my colleagues and people around the university. So it's been really good.
Before you were hired, you had spent some time on campus in the Sadoff gym over the years, going to high school here in Fond du Lac and just being around the basketball community. Just what did you know about Marian, before you actually got into the hiring process here and got interested in this job?
Yeah, I spent some time in the gym, just doing some open gyms and things with, a few of the Fond du Lac guys that went here, and a few of the guys from the area that went here. So I'd come here and play some open gyms, and I've known Graham Monroe for a long time, and Coach Wiegert I met years ago. So, I spent a little bit of time in the gym just in terms of knowing about Marian. I probably know less than I should have as a Fond du Lac resident. But I think it's got a good reputation. I think it's something. It's a place that, as I said, it's a very tight-knit community that's easy to feel comfortable in, and I think that's something that we can sell to prospective student athletes. You
mentioned in your press conference the other day you found out Coach Boyle retired after 30 years, reading a tweet, and
yeah.
You've been in
I think it was a Wade Bates tweet.
Was it
actually?
A Wade Bates tweet? Well, I guess I feel good to be part of the process, but did you have a relationship with Coach Boyle at all over the years? Did you
just a little bit, just in passing? Yeah, we didn't. We didn't have too many conversations. I think my dad probably knew him. I'm sure knew him a little bit better than I did.
Exactly. So you found out that he's retiring after a long, pretty successful career here at Marian University. And you've been in professional basketball, which we're going to talk about in a little bit for a while. But that just kind of piqued your interest, thinking, I'm getting towards the end, and this might be a great place to maybe make a transition.
Yeah. It was throughout this past season, and even the last couple seasons, you start to think more and more about the end of your playing career. As I got older, I'm 36 years old, so. And then this year, each year you kind of feel physically maybe a little bit worse and worse. And then even mentally, when things start to get not as fresh and not as exciting to you, I think it's time to start to think about moving on. And that's kind of where I was, middle of the season, December, January-ish. I was thinking, this probably could be my last season. I finished the season well, and I know I could have gone back and played again, but right around, like you said, in March when I read the news, it immediately piqued my interest for sure, because it's a college coaching job, and it's 2 minutes from my home.
You gonna walk to work every day?
I'm a little too lazy for that. I'll probably maybe bike. I could bike here pretty easily.
When you were in overseas, you played in the Italian league, and just explain to people who maybe aren't familiar the Italian league, because it's one of the better leagues in Europe, and you were able to carve out a nice career there.
Yeah. It's a high level league. A lot of good American players playing there. There's some good Italians, and then in each league, there's different guys from all over Europe. So Italians got a rich basketball history. It's not within Italy, soccer's king for sure. That's the not only the main sport, but it's the main topic of conversation over there. So, but in the places that have basketball, everyone's really passionate about it. There's been a lot of great NBA players who have started, European players that have come to the NBA that started their careers in Italy.
Sure. No, you went over there. Sometimes you get guys come over from America, play overseas, and they just kind of play basketball, get in, get out. Where you kind of really embraced the culture in Italy, didn't you?
Yeah, I think, the advantage that I had was I ended up staying in Italy for a long time. I admit that my first couple of years in Ity, when, I didn't know for sure that I'd be there for the long haul, I probably didn't embrace it as much. But once you figure out that Italy's going to be the place that I'm probably going to stay for a long time, then I think it's easier to reach out. And then you start to learn some of the language, and you start to get accustomed to the culture, and then you can, and then I think that's when you kind of embrace it. So the advantage I had was I stayed there for a long time. I think other guys, 1 year you're in Italy, the next year you're in Germany, the next year you're in Spain, so it's really hard to really feel comfortable. Whereas my career kept me in Italy, which I'm really thankful for.
But you spent 12 years overseas and mainly in Italy. Do you have a chance to play in America professional basketball?
In the NBA?
Yeah.
No. I had some workouts early in my career. That was a goal early in my career. I think that's something I thought about then, and nothing ever materialized on that front. And I think it's funny. I think I was maybe 1 year out of college, and I went to work a camp down in Arizona with this guy Scott Roth. I don't know if you might
former
know
Badger.
Former Badger. He played in the NBA, but he played first. He played overseas, and I was on my way at this camp. I was on my way. It was going to be my first year overseas, and so I was talking to him. And his advice to me was like to not get too comfortable. And then when he said it at the time, I was like, well, how would I get too comfortable on, going thousands of miles away, and because I don't think I really understood what he meant. But I think as time went on, I understand that it was, I did get comfortable in Italy. Not that I'd stopped working hard, or not that I stopped, trying to be the best player I could be, but there's more to like, for example, if you want to play in the NBA, there's more to it than just working hard. You have to put yourself out there. You have to try to go do these workouts and do all this stuff. And I got pretty comfortable, with the life that I had in Italy and the career that I was having there, that I maybe didn't pursue every avenue that I should have or could have.
Now, you've been on the job, you mentioned 6 weeks, just getting a look at a roster. Big underclassman class last year, just one senior, a great player in Manhart here at Marian. But just what's your thoughts on just watching some of these players on film? What kind of cookies do you have in the cookie jar?
Yeah, I think it's a pretty good roster, actually. I think a lot of people, come into their first head coaching job, and maybe it's a little bit the roster's a little bare, or there's not much talent because for whatever reason. But they did a good job of putting together some good talent. I think losing our lone all conference guy obviously hurts. We don't have guys that are proven to be the best players in the league. But I think we have a lot of guys with great potential. I think we have some pretty good athleticism, and we got some good size. So I think the roster seems to be pretty well rounded. It'll be interesting to actually see them in person and see how everything fits together.
One of the things you're fortunate about, and you mentioned in your press conference, Drake, was that your assistants, Marcus Wiegert and Grant Monroe, coming, two guys that you probably have Marian tattooed on their chest.
Yeah.
I mean, they are just embedded into this campus and just really invested into the basketball program. How big is that to have those two veteran coaches that have been here a while and stick with you?
Yeah, I mean, well, Marcus and I have been working, basically been in daily conversations and daily communication since I got the job, even while I was still in Italy, just getting a head start on the recruiting side of things and kind of organizing ourselves that way. And like you said, Grant's been here for 18 years, and he's someone that when I was young, in high school or whatever, he was playing here before. Well, he was playing here, I think, when I was in high school, yeah. And then he started coaching here when I was just out of high school. So, basically since I was 15 years old, Grant represented Marian to me because I was more invested in the final high school program because I played there and my dad coached there. But I knew Grant just because Grant did represent Marian to me at that time. So. He's been here forever. It's been good to have him, and like I said, Coach Wiegert's we've been working in constant communication.
What do you know about the NAC in general? I mean, it's a pretty good basketball league.
Yeah.
It's one of those leagues where you had Benedictine a few years back get all the way to the national title game. So it's one of those conferences, I think, that are, in my opinion, on the rise on the national D3 scene.
Yeah. I honestly don't know a whole lot about it. I know obviously some of the coaches and some of the players that have played here, there's, like you said, there's potential to have really great teams like there was a couple of years ago with Benedictine. I know Aurora is consistently a really good squad. They actually have an assistant coach now that was my assistant coach at DePaul. That's a good friend of mine. So, I think it's a league that's really competitive league.
It hasn't been that long ago since Marian made it to the NCAA tournament, and they were within a rimmed-out three-pointer, probably what some people are saying would have been the biggest upset in the history of the Division III tournament when they lost that point. But, the sky's the limit here. Don't you think so, in the NAC now, proving that you can make it to the national title game?
Yeah.
That get a good roster, a good group of kids willing to work hard, and the sky's the limit?
Yeah, for sure. I think, it's pretty, a lot of the big Wisconsin public schools, seem to consistently do a little better, but I think we have a lot to offer, and I think that it's possible. Benedictine has shown it, and other schools in the area have shown that you can go a long ways, and we're hoping to continue that and be a part of that.
Your brother Drew's an example in the NAIA. Won a national championship at Cardinal Stritch, which is a smaller school, but in the NAIA, so it can be done, right?
Oh, absolutely. No, he won the national championship at a school that has, 3 rows of bleachers. So, that stuff doesn't necessarily matter in the long run. It's the kind of experience that you're going to give the kids. It's the kind of atmosphere that you're going to create in terms of making it feel important. We're not coming here to play intramurals. We're coming here to be a part of a college basketball program, and that's what we're going to try to create here.
Well, it should be a fun time. Drake will be talking, I know, numerous times here. It's not that, I guess the season's not that far away, is it? A couple months?
I guess not. No. Yeah, it should be fun. It feels like it's a long ways away, but it's really not. No.
There's a lot of work for you to do though before you roll the balls out. What, in mid-October?
For sure. Yeah. Yeah, middle October.
Drake Diener, appreciate you joining us for our
Thanks
first
a lot,
Sabre
Wade. Spotlight
here. And if you want to watch Drake's opening press conference, you can go to sabreathletics.com. It's posted in the video section right there. New men's basketball coach Drake Diener here on the Sabre Spotlight on the Marian Sports Network.